Good day everyone, my name is Ernst Prayer and my assigned topic is all about corporate social responsibility. So what is social responsibility? So social responsibility is a business. It's also known as corporate social responsibility or CSR pertains to the people and organization behaving and conducting business ethically and with sensitivity towards social, cultural, economic, and environmental issues. Striving for social responsibility helps individuals, organizations, and government have positive impact on development, business, and society. Smart business decisions are not just a matter of counting short-term dollars and cents. So wise decision makes consider the future impact today's choice on people and the community and on customer and their opinions. While business result investment, free enterprise, and other traditional economic forces continue to drive industry or organization or reputations and their ability to compete effectively around the world depend on their integrity, social responsibility, efforts into decision making and performance improvement. So, corporate and social responsibility or CSR can make a significant contribution toward sustainability according to definition of the European Commission's CSR is a concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concern in their business operation and their interaction with their stakeholder on voluntary basis. So, this is an example of CSR. CSR is responsibility have potential benefits in a company. It produces positive business of reputation, better or better financial performance, and also it can have greater ability to attract talent and retain staff. Therefore, it is an essential aspect of business because CSR create a space for cooperation to engage with and the world around them in a positive ways. So, corporate social responsibility or CSR is when a company operates in an ethical and sustainable way and deals with the environmental and social impact. This means a careful consideration of human rights, that community, environment, and society in which it operates. So this article outlines that importance of corporate social responsibility and their benefits that sustainable and ethical practices can bring to your business. So it is incredibly important that your company operates in a way that demonstrates social responsibility, although it is not a legal requirement. It's the same as good practice for you to take into account social and environmental
Hello everyone,
issues.
this is my report. It's all about benefits of corporate social responsibility. The benefit of CSR speak of volume about how important it is and why should make an important to adopt in our business. The type of corporate social responsibilities. There are the four categories of corporate social responsibilities. Number 1, environmental responsibilities. Number 2, ethical responsibilities. Number 3 is philanthropic responsibilities. Number 4 is economic responsibilities. The environmental responsibilities. Refers to the belief that organization behave in our environmental friendly way as possible. For example, instead of using plastic bag, we should use paper bags or eco bag. It this way to can less air pollution. Ethically responsibility. It is the ensuring that a certain organization is operating in a fair and ethically manner. When we say ethically manner, it is a fair treatment of all employees and employer, including investor, supplier, and customer. Philanthropic responsibility. It is refers to business to actively to make the world and social but better place. For example, this is a company may be donate money to fund to support healthcare, identifies or donating to cause. Economic responsibility. It is the practice of all firm backing all of its financial decision. It is commitment to do good in the areas.
Good day everyone. So my assigned topic are ethical responsibility and business ethics. So what is the meaning of ethical responsibility? So in business, ethical responsibility is concerned with the action that affect the world around us. So business have a responsibility to behave in ways that don't cause unjustified harm, suffering, waste, or destruction. You can understand ethical responsibility in terms of who or what the company's actions affect. So the first is responsibility to employees. Employees are the first and the foremost, the people directly responsible for a company's success. Without their labor, the company could not function and would go anywhere. Similarly, a company is most directly responsible for an employee's personal success. Historically, unethical behavior toward employees has been responsible for political unrest, legal intervention, and the rise of labor unions. So next is responsibility to the environment. So pollution, resources depletion, and the land use are the inevitable consequences of virtually any business activity. There is also usually an impact on wildlife. Environmentally irresponsible business practices have poisoned communities, squandered vital resources into economic non-viability, and driven entire species extinct forever. Also, ethical responsibility to the environment invites political debate because its necessary place limits on business. Such responsibility requires that a company seek to minimize the harm it causes to people and wildlife, and take responsible measures to conserve resources for subsequent generations. The third one is responsibility to society. So economic activity is a boon to society. It creates wealth and leads to the advance of technology, which allow people to attain a better material quality of life and escape the hardship of poverty. But there are many ways that a company can behave irresponsibly towards society, all of which entail plundering the society for short-term gain. And also, social responsibility then requires a company to take an interest in the long-term success and prosperity of the community, where it does business and in the welfare of the national economy on which it ultimately depends. This means obeying the law, respecting society. It means striking a balance between developing short-term profits, which may be vital to company success, and foregoing those profits in favor of spreading the wealth into society, which laws, people, and wider economy provide the landscape of the company to succeed in the first place. And lastly, responsibility to shareholders and the company. A company has an ethical responsibility to earn a profit for the shareholders who invested in it. The company needs profit to continue to exist a viable business in society. The inventors deserve a profit because they took a risk with their money by investing in the company. Business ethics. So first of all, we need to know what actually ethics, also moral philosophy. It is a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing to plan a system for something, defending and recommending concept of right and wrong conduct. Business ethics can be defined as written and unwritten codes of principles and values that govern decision and action within a company. In the business world, the organization culture sets standard for determining the difference between good and bad decision making and behavior. Business ethics, also corporate ethics, is a form of applied ethics or professional ethics that examines ethical principles and ethical problems that arise in a business environment. So business ethics are implemented in order to ensure that a certain required level of trust exists between consumers and various forms of market participants with business.
6 ethical issues in business and how to address them. First, we have harassment and discrimination in the workplace. Harassment and discrimination are the largest ethical issues that impact business owners today. Harassment and discrimination takes place in the workplace. The result could be very bad for the organization financially and reputationally. Every business needs to be aware of the anti-discrimination laws and regulations that exist to protect employees from unjust treatment. And the second one is health and safety in the workplace. As outlined in the regulations stipulated by Occupational Safety and Health Administration, employees have a right to safe working conditions. And there were lots of workers died from occupational accidents or work-related diseases. And the top 10 most frequently cited violations were However, health and safety concerns should not be limited to physical harm. An emphasis was placed on the risk of psychosocial risk and work-related stress and mental health concerns. There are factors such as job insecurities, high demands, effort-reward imbalance were all found to contribute to health-related behavioral risk. Next, we have whistleblowing or social media rants. The widespread nature of social media has made employees conduct online a factor in their employment status. The question of the ethics of firing or punishing employees for their online posts is complicated. However, the line is usually drawn when the employee's online behavior is considered to be disloyal to their employer. This means that a Facebook post complaining about work is not punishable on its own but can be punishable if it does something to reduce business. In the same vein, business owners must be able to respect and not penalize employees who are deemed whistleblower to their regulatory authorities or on social media. Ethics in accounting. Any organization must maintain accurate bookkeeping practices or cooking the books, otherwise conducting unethical accounting practices, is a serious concern for organizations, especially in publicly traded companies. Next is non-disclosure and corporate espionage. Many employers are at risk of current and former employees stealing information including clients' data used by organization in direct competition with the company. When intellectual property is stolen or private client information is illegally distributed, this constitutes corporate espionage. Companies may put in place mandatory disclosure agreements stipulating strict financial penalties in case of violation in order to discourage these types of ethic violations. Technology and privacy practices. Under the same umbrella as non-disclosure agreements, the developments in technological security capability pose privacy concerns for clients and employees alike. Employers now have the ability to monitor employee activity on their computers and other company-provided devices, and while electronic surveillance is meant to ensure efficiency and productivity, it often comes dangerously close to privacy violations.
Maria Christy Zamora, and my topic is all about ethical principles for business executives. So the first one is honesty. Be honest in all communications and actions. Yes, it is an important concept in ethical principles of business to make the business more successful. So the other definition of honesty is ethical executives are honest and truthful in all their dealings, and they do not deliberately mislead or deceive others by misrepresentations, overstatements, partial truth, selective omission, or any other means. Or shall I call this candor rather than honesty? Candor needs to be tempered with tact. There are times when you're dealing with someone who would listen to honest feedback, and at those times you may need to let them see for themselves. For example, by allowing them to fail. So it is an important part of being candid, is knowing when you are being deceptive or overstating a case. This is not easy as it sounds. When you are self-aware, you'd realize how often you tell stories that are not true or assert certainly when really you are unsure. Next ethical principle for business executive is integrity. Integrity is maintain personal integrity. Integrity means the quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. So the other definition of integrity is ethical executives demonstrate personal integrity and courage of their convictions by doing what they think is right, even when there is a great pressure to do otherwise. So they are principled, honorable, and upright. They will fight for their belief. They will not sacrifice principle for expediency but be hypercritical or unscrupulous. Integrity is partly doing what you say, you talk, or speak to your co-workers. It is important to refrain from making promises you may not be able to keep. That said, you can't hedge every statement you make. Integrity takes courage. The next ethical principle for business executive is promise keeping and trustworthiness. Keep promises and fulfill commitments. Always fulfill commitments, especially in the field of business, to make your customer trust you, or they will always buy a product you've been selling with, not only for your customers but also to your employers. You should bear in your mind that your employees helps in fulfilling your business success. So promise keeping is very important in any businesses. So the other definition of promise keeping and trustworthiness is ethical executives are worthy of trust. They are candid and forthcoming and supplying relevant information in correcting misapprehensions and facts, and they make every reasonable effort to fulfill the letter and spirit their promises and commitments. They do not interpret agreements in an unreasonably technical or legalistic manner in order to rationalize non-compliance or create justifications for escaping their commitments. So this principle is largely a restatement of the previous two, which is the integrity and honesty, and it seems redundant. Sometimes it is reasonable to interpret something legalistically. For example, when dealing with the government or bureaucratic big company policies or hiring policies and following the letter of the law, for example, is doing the minimum required. may be the right thing to do. And the fourth ethical principle for business executive is loyalty. Loyalty as ethical executive are worthy of trust, demonstrate fidelity and loyalty to persons and institutions by friendship and adversity support and devotion to duty. They do not use or disclose information learned in confidence for personal advantage. So loyalty, like trust, is something that must be earned. Assuming you value integrity, you will look for a company whose mission and principle are compatible with your own. So then, assuming your management stick to the mission and the company's guiding principles and achieve business success, and you deliver results and stick to your own principles, the company should treat you well. If your company hits a rough patch, you should go to the extra mile within a reason. If you move on, make a clean
Fairness. Strive to be fair and just in all dealings. Ethical executives are fundamentally committed to fairness. They do not exercise power arbitrarily, not do they use overreaching and indecent means to gain or maintain any advantage, nor take undue advantage of another's mistake or difficulties. So as a leader, you need to ensure not only you are fair in your treatment to everyone, but also perceived fair by everyone. So the perfect treatment is not only applied to the people who is in a higher position, but also to the people who is in a lower position. Fairness in a workplace contributes employees feeling safe and engaged in the work they produce. So the next one is caring. Demonstrate compassion and a genuine concern for the well-being of others. Executives are caring, compassionate, benevolent, and kind. So it is crucial to make your employees feel safe and important if you want to keep top talent and improve performance. So one example of caring your employees is providing them a safe and clean workplace. Hiring a cleaning service for the office building could be a big help because employees can be more productive in an organized workplace than one that is distracting and cluttered. So who would not love a workplace that is well organized? So the next one is respect for others. Treat everyone with respect. Ethical executives demonstrate respect for the human dignity, autonomy, privacy, rights, and interests of all those who have a stake in their decisions. So this is very important in leading a company because your employees will respect you the way you respect them. And a business executive should be respectful enough because respect is a key requirement for a healthy work environment. Respect promotes teamwork and increases productivity and efficiencies in the workplace. It lets employees know they're valued for their abilities, qualities, and achievements, and that their role is very important in their company So the next success. one is law abiding. Obey the law. Ethical executives abide by laws, rules, and regulations relating to their business activities. A business executive should abide the law as well as the rules and regulations to serve as a good example to his or her employees. Abiding the law shows how you respect and protect the rights of the company and the people who work there, as well as help to establish a certain standard for how things should be run.
So one of the example of ethical principles for business executive is the commitment to excellence. Pursue excellence all the time in all things. Ethical executives in business pursue excellence in performing their duties, are well informed and prepared, and also constantly endeavor to increase the proficiency in all areas of responsibilities. To commit excellence in the business, we need to take the risk failure. We need to work hard, expand, be consistent, be passionate, maintain self-respect, and organization and the moral of its employees. Ethical executives understand the importance of their own and the company's reputation, as well as the importance of the pride and the good morals of the employees. So they avoid words and actions that might undermine respect, and they take affirmative steps to correct and prevent inappropriate conduct of others. Lastly is accountability. Be accountable. Ethical executives acknowledge and accept personal